Welcome to Leafs Quick Hits. I'm Chris.
And I'm Sil.
And hope everyone had a great holiday break. The Leafs didn't have too much of a holiday break after New Year's anyways. They played 3 games in 4 nights, and we're going to get into that into a bit.
First, a reminder that Ladies Talkin Leafs is a finalist in the 2025 Sports Podcast Awards. Yay! Our show made the final cut in 2 categories, Best Hockey Podcast and the Diverse Voices Award. So please vote now, vote often. Links to vote are in our show notes and across our social media profile pages and YouTube. Voting closes January 13th, so we have about 1 week to go. So please definitely get out there and vote.
Yeah. So now we want to just take some time to thank our show sponsor, BetOnline, and tell you a bit about them. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen.
With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NHL, NBA, and college basketball to UFC. Head to betonline.ag today, and don't forget to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here. Please gamble responsibly, though. If you or someone you know needs some support or advice, you can reach out to Connex Ontario or an organization near you.
All right, so let's get into Leafs now. Matthews returns. Yay!
Yay!
That's another celebration for us. Again, he returns. So yeah, I mean, it was pretty good when he made his first game coming back, and then on Saturday night versus the Bruins, the line with Knies and Marner got 13 points, so you can't complain about that. 13 points combined. And in the warm up
for Knies.
Yeah, but I
knew that he was going to be happy having his Arizona compatriot back with him.
Yeah, you were mentioning that to Mike in our last show. So
yep.
But yeah, I mean, he looked like himself. I don't know what they did. It's just I guess the only thing right now is the shot. Like he's becoming last couple of games, he's more of a playmaker.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. Like all those people who complained last year that he didn't have enough primary assists. I guess now we're going to see how he does there. I think to me, he looked the best that he's looked all season, like very comfortable. However, like you do always get kind of that first game back bump, and you've got a little bit more adrenaline. So it'll be interesting to see now that they're traveling, that there's like a plane ride there as well. To
Philly back to back though. So that's
I know,
good
but
too.
the thing is now he's going to be in a plane seat and traveling and all of that stuff. So, I kind of feel like that'll be the real test to me, seeing how he does on Tuesday. But I thought he looked amazing and not shying away from contact. His usual good 200, foot game. I
just hope it has nothing to do like that. I don't think he is, hopefully not, but he's not forcing himself because of this whole 4 Nations Cup coming up, this tournament. I still don't think he should be playing in that tournament, but it's his choice, and
100%,
obviously
it's got the team's got really nothing to do with it and not much say, I don't think either, since it's an NHL sanctioned event. So I just hope that he has enough games to feel comfortable and just to feel strong enough that he's not going to be at risk to re-injure himself. But if it is the back, which most people are speculating, anybody who's had a back issue knows that sometimes things can turn around really fast once you start to get better. Like you can go from feeling like really horrible to feeling, wow, I feel really great today. So, so maybe, cross fingers that's the case.
And he should not eat McDonald's because apparently there's some new promotion. You may not have seen it yet, Sil, but there's some new.
Think so.
There's I sent it to you.
I highly doubt that they're allowed to eat McDonald's, but anyways, at least not in season.
No, but him and Connor McDavid are doing some promo commercial.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. They're back and forth on Twitter. I guess are they trying to reinvent the was McMann and Gretzky?
Yes. Yeah. So you know about the original one.
I know about the original one. Yeah, like I remember that when they were doing all the trick shots and everything. It was like a really cool commercial, actually.
Yeah. So they're going to be trying to do that, and that's supposed to come out actually tomorrow on Tuesday, but we'll see about that. But
when the heck did they have an opportunity to film that? While he was down. Gee, I wonder.
Eh? Yeah.
Anyway,
right. Let's get on.
Speaking of often injured players, let's talk a little bit about Joseph Woll. So versus the Islanders on the 31st, he had this one sequence where he looked a little uncomfortable after making a save. He worked through it and he played through it, and he was a big reason why they won that game, stopping 30 shots with his 11th win of the season. So I think that was both a good and a bad thing. The bad is that, anytime anything looks weird, we're like immediately concerned. The good is I do think that Berube is trying to encourage him to try to push through these things a little bit.
Yeah, like not
supposed to just taking himself right out of the game.
Yeah, it's like a mental thing, I think, right?
Yeah,
like
maybe.
It's almost like because he's been injured so much.
Yeah,
and he feels something and it's like, oh no.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe I should get up slowly sort of thing. But does he realize that, well, he obviously does know that he's on TV and everybody's watching. So it's like, okay, that does not make us feel very good. But yeah, Berube definitely, well, I mean, some coaches, mind you, they say that they, as I lose my headphone here, but some coaches, they say that they just leave the goalies alone too, right? Like just because they are different personalities. But
I think, like Hildeby played well the other night as well.
Yeah.
That first goal that he let in, was a little iffy. And I think collectively everybody watching was probably like, oh no.
Yeah.
But he really pulled it together after and he played great. So,
Woll played 3 games in a row. Woo-hoo.
I know. And that's like something too. So all of these things are like, different milestones for him as far as, stretching himself literally and figuratively. So, I think they just need to help him, gradually test his limits so that, he'll feel more comfortable when the real adversity hits. And, hopefully, Anthony Stolarz will be back, not too long from now. Probably now it will be after the Four Nations face off, I think. That he'll be back. He's gonna have a extra time to rehab, really. So, and then everything will be hopefully okay.
Yeah. No, I know. Cause I mean, that Four Nations is good for players like Woll, I think.
For sure. Yeah.
I think it'll be good especially for that and just to get that extra rest. And then he'll be ready for, obviously, when the games count even more and towards the end of the season and into the playoffs. And that's when we need him to show that he's our number one goalie, because that's what we planned on, or the Leafs planned on anyways.
Yep.
All right. So let's get on to Willie. Good old, our friend Willie Nylander. You were just saying that he's your favorite now, right?
I think so. I think so.
So you got to call him out.
Where is Willie?
Yeah.
He is a little bit in the doldrums at the moment. A lot of people talk about how he usually goes into this funk at this time of year, but I do think that, this, rut that he gets into has been like, shorter and shorter and shorter each season. He seems to be getting a little bit frustrated, right now. I kind of feel like maybe now that we really, for the first time, aside from like what happened with McCabe, that was really unfortunate. We kind of have our team together, at least in the forward group. So maybe they'll be able to get some chemistry reset again, because he's the one that has been bounced around, like, I think the absolute most throughout the lineup when it comes to our top guys. So, I'm hoping he starts clicking again. I think he'll feel better once he starts loading the net again. Although, again, for him, playing for Team Sweden, I mean, that could be a real spark for him. He loves playing in that Swedish jersey. So,
I mean, he looks
we'll
like
see if that does anything.
I mean, last night versus Philly, he didn't have that many shots, I don't think.
Yeah,
I think they said that on the broadcast, but so, and maybe the confidence thing they were talking about, but I don't know. He is, as of yesterday, anyways, on Sunday after the Philly game, he has the 23 goals and he's tied with 5 players for second, right in the league.
To me, that just tells me though that there's not a lot of movement at all now, like, because those guys have not moved. Like, he hasn't lost his spot. So,
so it's almost like they're
everyone's
all
sort of in. These are the dog days for sure in the league, and this kind of always happens. We're just coming off the holiday period, all of that. It's just a little bit, there's distractions,
Yeah.
So
maybe this mentorship will be good for him too. Right?
Yeah.
If he's going to have his brother with him, I don't know. No, I guess not, because he plays with the Marlies. But yeah, probably maybe it's actually supposed to be somebody, I think, other than your dad or mom.
Right.
That's the whole idea. But
So anyway, before we move on to our next segment, I do want to say one more thing.
Yeah.
Is that could anybody be a happier guy than Morgan Rielly after scoring that goal? And boy, did he need it, because talk about somebody who's kind of in the doghouse.
Yeah.
That's him.
Yeah.
Worst plus minus on the team also.
Yeah.
And he looked so relieved, and I was just so happy for him to get that goal.
Even Matthews went like, it was like a big, like, I mean, it was the overtime winner, obviously. Yeah. So, but Matthews looked really happy for him.
Well, I mean, obviously they know better than anybody. Yeah. How guys are feeling in the room. So,
it was 26. I wrote it down, actually. He had 26 games without a goal.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not good.
That's not good. Not when you're our top offensive defenseman, and you're playing on the power play too. Like, number one power play, you have to get at some, mind you, that was 2 games in a row, I guess, which is a good thing that our defense was involved. Unfortunately, like you said, he had to go with Jake McCabe. And I think
he's going to be out for a bit now.
Yeah, because this is his second concussion now.
Yeah,
right?
in a short period of time. So that's never a good thing. So
no, and we need him. He's definitely a big part of our team as a whole, and we need him for the playoffs for sure.
Yeah, I think he picked the wrong guy to mess with, and he really shouldn't have shoved his head down. Like, that was the wrong guy to pick any fights with, I think.
I also think it was like an oops thing where the guy, like, he lost his balance and just like went right on the guy's head and put him into the ice. But anyways, I just thought, and I knew actually Max Domi, of course, he got fined today for the elbow, because he did have the flying elbow yesterday. Against that,
things are looking up.
Garnet Hathaway. Yes. Yeah. So he got the $5,000 fine.
Yeah. So that's good though, because typically he would have gotten suspended for 2 games for that.
Yeah.
So so things are looking up
when it comes to NHL player safety and our relationship with them. Yeah.
Definitely.
But anyways, Jake McCabe, hopefully it won't be too long. But
and again, he's another one that this extended break is going to help. Yeah. So once we get there.
Yeah. All right. But there is one player who has been very noticeable as well this week. And who is that player?
All right. Well, our star of the week for this Leafs Quick Hits episode is Bobby McMann. So the Leaf Blueprint described him as Rocket McMann after the big game in Long Island to start off 2025 with 2 goals. Over the last 5 games, he's been more consistent with his offensive production, 2 goals and 2 assists.
Yeah.
So
I like I mean, that third line, it's still a work in progress a little bit.
I was just going to say that,
Yeah, they're kind of like off and on. Like we're so excited for them because they produced that 1 or 2 games and then all of a sudden you don't see them again. So like they don't do. There's other, I mean, yes, we want them to score, but there's the energy involved in that line too, similar to the fourth line.
For sure.
That we need to see more of.
Well, yeah, but I do find like they are really noticeable though. I do think they work hard. They get in on the forecheck. So yeah.
Domi doesn't have a goal in 8 games. Right? Again, right? So
no, and this is the thing, and Robertson too, like he does have these drop offs. So
McMann being our star of the week, I mean, I think I just like the way his size, like he's a big guy, especially you notice it being with those 2 smaller players, like he's like a giant beside Domi and Robertson, right?
Yeah.
And he just flying down the wing there and just that power forward type of player. And
you know what? He deserves it. It's a great story. You know, he has not had an easy road to the NHL. So, you know, I just think he deserves the kudos and deserves very much to be our star of the week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, now we're going to look ahead a little bit. And after the game versus the Flyers at home, the Leafs are now at the official halfway point of the season, with that being game 41. So looking ahead, the Leafs go on the road for a couple games this week. They're going to play the Flyers again on Tuesday and then head to Carolina finally to play the Canes on Thursday night. Before coming back home on Saturday night for an all-Canadian matchup versus Vancouver. So you're mentioning earlier, this is the mentors trip. So, I guess each guy gets to bring somebody that has meant a lot to them and, you know, who advises them and, you know, keeps them up and up and at them. And I know that Auston Matthews is bringing Jumbo Joe on this trip. So I thought that's great. And of course, we also saw that Dougie and Wendell, I guess, are the de facto team mentors on a whole. And so I thought that's great too.
Yeah. So Joe Thornton, I mean, I guess because he played for the Leafs during COVID time, I think that.
No, and all of the guys there, like a lot of them were living with him.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there was.
I remember that picture.
Yeah,
all of them around the Christmas tree.
That's right. Yeah, right. Yeah. So, you obviously, I mean, he's a Hall of Famer too. So it's, I think it's great to have him back and to come on the trip with them, and then Dougie and Wendell, like you said, of course,
and for the leadership, and you know. Austin being a new captain, you know, Thornton was a captain at San Jose. So there's also that. And in the whole Patty Marleau connection with all of them. So.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. Maybe Marner will ask Patrick Marleau.
Yeah, maybe.
You never know. But a couple other people, I guess, like Knies is bringing his older brother, Phil. And so he has a strong connection, obviously, with his brother. And I think actually Morgan Rielly, too, is also bringing his brother on the trip. But these trips are always good. So it's 2 games, Philly and Carolina, that they'll be on the trip with them. And it's just something I think that's going to be cool.
Good food on this trip they're going to have.
Oh, yeah, that's true, too. Yeah.
Although not healthy food, but good food.
Yeah, that's true. Right? But well, we can definitely vouch for Carolina. So
we haven't had a official Philly cheesesteaks yet.
No, not yet.
That'll happen one day.
Yeah. We look forward to that. But and then with the games themselves, I mean, I guess the Flyers game on Tuesday, it'll be, I assume it's going to be similar to the one on Sunday, and hopefully, we'll come out of that, or we should come out of that with a win, but it's tough playing there in,
for sure.
I was going to say the Spectrum, but it's not the Spectrum in Philadelphia. It's been a while.
It's going back a ways, yeah.
But and then I don't know the name of their building. The buildings change the names too much now, so I'm not even going to try and say what it is. And then the Canes, like you said, I mean, they're. I don't know. Well, my friend Freddie Anderson, he's out, obviously, so it's not as exciting for me. But hopefully he'll be back again soon. And then that Vancouver game. Oh my God, that's like chaos in Vancouver with with Pettersson and Miller having this
coming into the Toronto media. Like, everyone's talking about it here too. So there's going to be, it'll be interesting, the drama that might unfold, with all the questions. So, yeah.
I don't know if there's been talk like they're trying to trade one of them, but.
Well, I heard they might trade both of them. Like,
really?
I heard it's getting to that point where they that both of them could go. But that,
with Rick Talkin as the coach, I can see that too, right?
Like he might just be like, "That's it, enough's enough. I've had enough of this crap."
Yeah, like he wants he wants it to be a team. He's a team guy himself.
Not to mention that with this kind of stuff, the focus is on you. The focus should be on the team. So you have to get over yourself at some point. Yeah. It's not about you.
Yeah, Exactly. Yeah.
So they should be adults and they should be able to work this out somehow. So
yeah, for sure. And that's the way Craig Berube coaches our Leafs too, right? It's not about the individual, it's about the team. It's all about the team. And that's what he's driving away at in his first season as the Leafs head coach. But we'll be back next week again with a full length episode of Ladies Talking Leafs. In the meantime, don't forget to vote for Ladies Talking Leafs in the 2025 Sports Podcast Awards. Links to vote are included in all of our social media profiles and on our YouTube profile. Our handle is at LTL1917, and the voting is open again until January 13th. Also, we would love to hear from you. If you are listening on Spotify, please answer our poll question for a quick way to give us feedback on the show. All you need to do is when you're listening, just scroll up. And right at the bottom there's a poll question. So we'd love to hear from you that way, or leave us a comment on YouTube if you're watching us there, or on social media, and let us know your thoughts on the show or the Leafs. You can also listen to us on the Believe Network, and don't forget to hit that follow button wherever you listen to us or watch our show, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or your favorite app.
And a reminder to check out our Ko-fi page as well at kofi.com/LTL1917. And while visiting our Ko-fi page, please consider supporting us by buying us a coffee. Any donation goes towards helping us produce the show and making it even better for you. You can find the link to our Ko-fi page on our show notes or in any of our social media profile pages.
And as always, thanks to our healthcare workers and first responders for all that they do.
And we thank you, as always, for listening and watching Ladies Talking Leafs presented by Bet Online. Till next time, go Leafs, go.
Do you believe?